When you're evaluating a function, there's a couple of vocabulary terms that you'll need to know. The main one is just being able to read the function notation. And so when you see this, it's really important that you understand that this is function notation. And you read this as f of x. And so basically when you see that and you see the word evaluate, right, what it's asking you to do is just plug in a number. You're plugging in a number for x, and then you're just calculating the result. And it's just like using any other formula, any other equation. And so you're just replacing x with whatever number is inside those parentheses. And then just a couple of things to help. Always use parentheses when you're plugging in, especially if you're working with negatives. It will help you with your calculator. It will help you keep yourself from making just little careless errors in your calculation. And so you can definitely use your calculator to help you out when you're doing your calculations. So let's look at how we evaluate. So remember, anytime you see that word evaluate, you want to just think, okay, I need to plug in for x. Because if you notice what happens here is that x, well, it just became a 3. So that means that when we're over here, we're going to take that x and we're going to make it a 3. And notice that's what changed. Whatever I replace that x inside those parentheses with, I replace that x in my equation with. And so that 3 replace the x. And now I just need to work this out. So again, I'm going to use my order of operations, or you can use your calculator to help. 8 times 3, I've got 24. And then minus 5. So 24 minus 5, I've got 19. Final answer. All right. Then my next one, I'm using the same equation. So still 8x minus 5. This time I'm replacing the x with negative 2. So 8 at negative 2 minus 5. Same idea. I'm going to do 8 times negative 2. So that's negative 16. And negative 16 minus 5 is going to give me negative 21. All right. Next I've got f of 1/2. Same idea. The 1/2 is what's going to replace that x. Okay. So I've got 8 times 1/2 minus 5. I'm going to zoom in some. So if I simplify that, 8 times 1/2, that's going to give me 4. And then 4 minus 5, negative 1. Final answer. All right, let's look at another one. Same idea. Okay, again, here, if I've got f of x, that means that if I'm evaluating everywhere I see x, I need to replace that. So if I've got f of 4, what that's telling me is that everywhere I see x, I'm going to put negative 4. And if I have more than one x, I'm going to replace it more than one time. And so you just need to be really careful with your parentheses and your negative. So negative 4 squared, that's going to be positive 16. Got plus 5 times negative 4, so that's negative 20. And then minus 5. And so then I've got 16 minus 20 minus, I'm sorry guys, I just realized I wrote the wrong number. Please make note that I wrote this wrong. Okay, back and let's fix that. So that should be minus 3 and minus 3. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so she fixed that. So I've got 16 minus 20 minus 3. And if I calculate all of that, I get negative 7. Final answer. All right, f of 0, same idea. This case, that 0 is what's going to replace my x's. So I've got 0 squared plus 5 times 0 minus 3. 0 squared is 0. 5 times 0 is 0. And minus 3, so that leaves me with negative 3. Last one, this time I've got f of 5. And so I'd have 5 squared plus 5 times 5 minus 3. So 5 squared would be 25. Plus 5 times 5 would be 25. And minus 3. And then if I do 25 plus 25 and minus 3, that gives me 47.